Hello friends, I am Jyoti Vishwakarma, currently pursuing my PhD degree in Agricultural Extension Education from Acharya Narendra Dev University of Agriculture and Technology. In this video, we will take a look on the role of gender in agriculture and development. Agriculture extension always emphasizes the principle of whole family approach, wherein both men and women need to be given due importance while promoting the technology transfer in agriculture. Nowadays, in the times of commercial farming, agriculture extension has become an important tool to bring transformation not only in the farming practices but also in the quality of life through gender sensitized society. First, we will start with the basic concepts. Sex, that identifies the biological differences between men and women. These differences are universal and determined at birth. Gender, that identifies the social differences between women and men. These differences are changeable over time and have wide variation both within and between culture. The concept of gender also includes the expectation held about the characteristics, aptitudes, and likely behavior of both men and women. Gender bias can be defined as the tendency to make decisions or take actions based on gender. Gender mainstreaming is a process of ensuring that women and men have equal access and control over resources, development benefits, and decision making at all stages of the development process and projects, programs, and policies. Gender blindness is the failure to recognize that gender is an essential determinant of social outcome impacting on projects and policies. Gender awareness is an understanding that there are socially determined differences between women and men based on learned behaviors which affect their ability to access and control resources. Gender sensitivity encompasses the ability to acknowledge and highlight existing differences, issues, and inequalities and incorporates these into strategies and actions. Gender discrimination can be defined as a prejudicial treatment of an individual based on a gender stereotype, often referred to as sexism or sexual discrimination. Gender equality is the result of the absence of discrimination on the basis of a person's sex in opportunities and the allocation of resources or benefits or in access to services. Gender equity entails the provision of fairness and justice in the distribution of benefits and responsibilities between women and men. The concept recognizes that women and men have different needs and power, and that these differences should be identified and addressed in a manner that rectifies the imbalances between the sexes. Gender issues is specific consequences of the inequality of women and men. Gender relations are the ways in which a culture or society defines rights, responsibilities, and identifies of men and women in relation to one another. Gender sensitive is the concept of being aware of the differences between women's and men's need, role, and responsibilities and constraints. There are some major events that has happened and which acts like turning point for the establishment of gender concept in society. The first one is Women in Development approach that emerged in mid 1970s. In 1975, First World Conference on Women was held in Mexico. In 1979, Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination was adopted by United Nations. In 1980s, Second World Conference on Women was held in Copenhagen. In 1992, National Commission for Women was made. In 1995, Fourth World Conference on Women was held in Beijing. In 1996, National Research Center for Women in Agriculture was established. In 2001, National Policy for Empowerment of Women was made. In 2004, Gender Resource Center was established. In 2008, Directorate of Research on Women in Agriculture was established. In 2010, National Mission for Empowerment of Women was made. In 2012, first Global Conference on Women in Agriculture was held in New Delhi. In 2015, Central Institute for Women in Agriculture was established. Now we will talk about the status of women in India. as the data of Census 2021 has not been reported, so we will discuss the data of 2011 census. As per the census 2011, the population of India was 1210.19 million, comprising 586.47 million, that is 48.5% females, and 623.72 million, that is 51.5% males. The sex ratio was 940 in 2011, which is better than 927 in 1991 and 933 in 2001. Literacy rate in India was found to be 74.04% as per the census 2011. The literacy rate for male and female works out to be 82.14% and 65.46% respectively. Now, gender roles. For men, there are majorly two roles. First one is productive, that is relating to production of goods and consumption or income through work in or outside the home. The second one is community politics, that is relating to the constituency based political activities at community, local, national, and sometimes international level. For women, there are three major roles. First one is productive. The definition is same as the men's role. Reproductive, relating to domestic or household tasks associated with creating and sustains children and family. And the third one is community management, that is relating to tasks and responsibilities carried out for the benefit of the community. Now, legal rights. Article 14 confers equal rights and opportunities on men and women in the political, economic, and social spheres. Article 15 prevents discrimination against any citizen on the grounds of sex, religion, race, caste, etc. Article 15(3) provides that nothing in the Article 15 shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. Article 16 provides for equal opportunity in the matters of public employment. Article 39A says that men and women equally have the right to an adequate means of livelihood. Article 39D confers equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Article 15A(e) imposes a fundamental duty on every citizen to renounce the practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Constitutional provision. Some acts which are made in the interest of women. Child Marriage Restraint Act 1929, which was later amended in 1978. The Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, the Equal Remuneration Act 1976, and Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. Gender issues and challenges. These are the major issues and challenges which are faced in the context of gender. The first one is structural inequalities in society. Next is invisibility of women as practicing farmers. Next is hurdles to harness innovation. Then issues in household food and nutrition security. Inequalities in earning. Lack of coordinated efforts in creating gender awareness. Poor reach of extension services. And the last one is drudgery for women in farming operations. So that's all for today's video. You all can write down your suggestions and queries in the comment box. Thank you.